Over the course of Marvel's history, their castings have been outstanding. From Chris Pratt as Star-Lord to Christian Bale as Gore the God Butcher, Chris Hemsworth as Thor, Chris Evans to Captain America. There's a lot of Chris's. But in July of 2024, Marvel shocked the world with one casting for one major character, and that is Robert Downey Doom. Let's get into it. So if you've somehow missed it, Robert Downey Jr. is playing Victor Von Doom in the MCU. And before we get into other details, this will be a spoiler for the bit of Fantastic Four, so this is your warning. Here we go. Robert Downey Jr. has only played Doom so far in one movie. He was in the post-credits of Fantastic Four, and apparently he's supposed to be this big bad for the next two Avengers movies, Doomsday and Secret Wars. If you've been following the comics the last 10 years, you know that in 2015, his Secret Wars run, you know exactly the part Doom plays in that. But Doomsday, everything else is still kind of in the air. And to make all of this short, I think it's going to be broken down into three things: the good, the bad, and what I think will happen. The good is that Robert Downey Jr. is a good actor. There are some creative things he can do with this. They can, use the whole complexion thing that they've been saying, that they're going to use Tony Stark's complexion to, make a lot of the heroes like be confused or whatever. There's a lot that's happening. Also, the good is that we're combining a lot of different teams. We have the X-Men, the Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, Avengers. We're having huge crossovers in this one movie. And I'm curious as to how that's going to be played. But to me personally, I don't see a lot of good of what's happening with this. So that's why it's going to be quickly moving on to the bad. The biggest thing I think is they're using RDJ as a obvious seat filler. I just think using Robert Downey Jr., who has been technically the face of the MCU for over 15 years, is a little bit of a wild shot. And maybe that's the point. Maybe they're doing the whole die hero, live villain thing. I don't really know. I just think there could have been more people for them to pick. Personally, my dream role is Henry Cavill's body, and maybe even the face if he takes off the mask, with Maurice LaMarche's voice, who's done the animated Doctor Doom. And they're incredible together. Not that they've ever worked, but they could be great together. Or if we want to go for just a single actor, Nicholas Coster-Waldau, who was Jaime Lannister, that's perfect. I just kind of feel like it's kind of just rehashing old ideas, because he did audition, so making it real. And what I also think may be a bad is that they're probably not going to keep him around for long. I mean, they paid $300 million for one actor. That one actor can support a movie budget, a Marvel movie budget. So if they continue to have Doctor Doom and other things, because the reason why they didn't show his face at the end of the Fantastic Four movie is because they were going to have to pay him like a fourth of the budget. Robert Downey Jr., not to say that he's overpaid, because you go win an Oscar, you do Chaplin, you do all these great movies, you get to reap the rewards. But sooner than later, that money is going to be able to not just be affordable, for Marvel at least, not for everywhere else. And now we got to go into what I think will change. What I think they're going to be changing is they're going to be changing the importance of Doom for the sake of a movie. I don't think that's really great. Doom is supposed to be a character that is forever present. He is supposed to consistently be there. We have Fantastic Four stories. We have Avengers stories. We even have some X-Men stories. And I just think if they're just going to kill him off after two movies, why are we making this big of a deal? Why are we getting a good actor and someone who has been the face of a hero for so long just to kill him in two movies? I also think what they'll change is they'll just continuously bring in past actors in a new role or a similar role and darker, like the whole thing about Chris Evans possibly returning. I don't know. I mean, it was fun for him and Deadpool and Wolverine to come back as the Human Torch because it was so far off of any story. It was literally 2 minutes of screen time, if that. But he didn't add anything. If he was just there as some comic relief, and he did a good job. But if he's supposed to be there as another bad guy or an adversary to these heroes, what are we doing? So I don't know. I guess what I'm pretty much just saying is they could have done better. That's all I'm really saying. Am I excited? Absolutely. Am I so nervous that it's kind of taking my every thought whenever I hear about this? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, I'll still be happy because I get to see these comic book characters that I've read on the big screen, but they really got one chance to just make Doom right. That's all they got. Because they've had two attempts. And the 2005 one started real good, plummeted. Don't even get me started on the 2014 one, though. RDJ has got the chops. He's got the charm. He's got the acting skills. I think he can do it. But I do think Marvel needs to evaluate why these villains are important and what they can do to keep around for much longer than just 2 movies. Well, that about wraps up my yap. If any of that made sense, be sure to like and subscribe. Also, leave a comment if you guys want RDJ as Doctor Doom. If you don't, what do you kind of feel about the casting? Let me know. Be sure to also check out past episodes of the Tu-Vie Podcast, our podcast that covers everything TV, movie, entertainment news, of things you don't want to miss. And if you're looking for something outside of just the news circle, we also have our second channel, Cinema Showcase. It's where movies get their spotlight, and we break down one movie that's a personal favorite of ours, one we haven't seen in a while, or if we have a guest, one of their favorites. We'll be trying to work that more into our schedule. We have a new one coming soon. Don't worry. And to keep up with the day-to-day, be sure to check us out on Instagram and TikTok for all things that we got going on. And we'll see you guys next time.